girls. Shame on you for even clicking on this video. Okay, just joking. I mean, kinda. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this one we are going to discuss why you should not even bother, okay, about why people don't like you, why you should not even try to find out. But before we get into that, she promised consistency, and she's giving what? Consistency. Okay, thank you very much. Now, you know, the truth of the matter is you'll never even know why people don't like you, right? I mean, in most instances, I would venture to say in 70 to 80% of the cases, you will never know the true reason why people don't like you. Why? Because people lie. Okay, now I'm not proud of this, but I've done that. I told people I didn't want to see them anymore because of XYZ, when really I didn't want to see them anymore because of ABC. Okay, and this is why you should not bother to find out why someone doesn't like you. And the reason why I did that is because most people are just not self-aware enough and don't have the maturity to just handle the truth. This is the case of a girl telling a guy, it's not you, it's me, when really they think it's him, or a guy telling a girl, I'm not looking for anything serious right now, but they leave off the second part of that sentence, which is with you. Okay, he's looking for something serious, just not with you, and he won't tell you because again, most people are just way too emotional for the truth. So that's the number one reason why you should not bother trying to find out why someone doesn't like you. Trying to find out why someone doesn't like you is a waste of time, is a waste of energy, and really truly, you guys, it's a waste of life. Okay, studies have proven that when you get into a room, automatically 30%, you guys, 30%, like 1/3 of the people don't like you. Now keep in mind, these are strangers, they don't even know you, yet they dislike you. Okay, now this goes to show why you shouldn't waste your time. I think it was 30% doesn't like you, 30% likes you instantly, and 30% just feels no way about you. So it doesn't really, they don't really care. It could go either way with these people later on once they get to know you. So this is the second reason why you should not bother to find out why someone doesn't like you. You guys, when someone doesn't like you, your best shot is just to accept it. You're better off just accepting it and letting it go, right? Because there's always going to be someone who doesn't like you. How does the saying goes again? You could be the sweetest, most juicy peach in the world, and there are still people who don't like peaches. And it boils down to that. And finding out for what, right? Why do you want to find out why someone doesn't like you? I know that for me, back in the days, like almost a decade ago, I wanted to figure out why people don't like me. And sometimes when I did figure it out, I tried like changing myself. It makes me laugh just thinking about it, in order to appease them. But then I realized this doesn't work, okay? Because I could change myself one way to appease this one person, but then what this very person dislikes about me is what someone else likes about me, or another person dislikes something else about me. So what are you going to do? Are you going to constantly change yourself to appease this person, that person, the third person? Like, when are you going to be yourself? See, it just does not work. So whatever the setting, whether it's friendship or dating, if you go on a date and a guy, you just don't do it for him for whatever reason, don't try to force him or ask. I mean, I guess you can ask for feedback if you go on a lot of dates and you're rejected a lot. Then it would make sense like to ask for feedback to know, maybe you're coming off too strong, or maybe there's something about you that is repelling people. But generally, if on some days people like you, some days they don't like you, I say don't even bother asking people for feedback, because I mean, what's the point? A lot of people don't like me, you guys. Some people don't like me because I'm too loud. Okay, some people don't like me because I'm a single mom. Some people don't like me because they confuse my confidence for arrogance. Some people don't like me because I'm too bougie. Some people don't like me because they believe I care too much what I look like, that I spend too much time and money and energy getting ready, that I'm always put together, and that bothers them. I mean, the list is endless, and you guys, I have not lost an ounce of sleep in 10 years about this, because oh well, c'est la vie, rejection is just part of life. I myself have rejected a lot of people too. So, this is harsh, but I don't like everybody, so why should everybody like me? You have to think about it that way. You reject people all the time, so it's just fair for people to be able to reject you as well. You know, you're just not going to do it for everybody. That's just life. Now, I want to touch on, and you know, don't miss this, you guys, the most important reason why you should never ever ever bother even finding out why someone doesn't like you, why you should just accept it and move on, is because most of the time people don't even know why they don't like you, believe it or not. I mean, we've all heard the sentence like, I just don't like her vibe, I just don't like her energy, right? I'm sure you heard that. Now, what does that mean? Perhaps you even said it, right? And when people say, I just don't like the vibe, I just don't like the energy, what they mean is that subconsciously, you guys, they are triggered, right? Again, we all know about trigger, we all know about, you know, conscious triggers. Hopefully, you know, a lot of us or most of us know about most of their triggers. You know, there is no way you will know all of your triggers, right? But the goal is to know most of them. But what most of us are not hip to game with yet, in my opinion, is that we can be, you know, subconsciously as well triggered by people, right? Now, what would this look like? This would look like when you were a child, perhaps you had an auntie who was very, very overbearing. You know, she would always hug you, kiss you without your consent, perhaps, or, you know, even worse, perhaps an auntie who was very aggressive, not very nice, who used to hit you or whatever. And let's say she used to use a particular perfume, or let's just say from Yves Saint Laurent, like opium, right? Black opium. I love that perfume, and it's fall, and it's my favorite fall perfume. So yeah, whatever, right? Now, depending on how old you were, right? If you were old enough to remember this scent and, you know about this, then this may not be a subconscious trigger for you. It may be just a conscious trigger for you, right? So every time you meet someone wearing this perfume, you'd be like, oh, that's black opium from YSL. But if you are very, very young, let's say anywhere from 2 to 4, right, what this may cause is a subconscious trigger. So what this would look like is that every time that you would meet somebody wearing this perfume, you would just instantly dislike them. You know, you'd feel this ick, right? Your mind would go back to this place. You would just feel unsafe, right? And you just wouldn't like them. And then you would end up saying things like, I just don't like her energy. I just don't like her vibe. When really what you are saying is that her wearing the perfume that my aunt that I didn't like used to wear as a child is subconsciously triggering me. But again, most people are not aware of that. So this is why, or one of the many reasons why you should never ever bother finding out why someone doesn't like you. Again, the perfume example is just semantics, you guys. It could be anything, right? It could be that they have a particular feature that looks like that person, so a nose, eyes. It could be that they wear the hair similar to that person, so hairstyle. It could be anything really, gesture, anything about them, the voice, the tone of their voice. Like, the list is endless, really, the way they say it. I could go on and on and on and on and on. That could remind you of someone. You know, it doesn't have to be an auntie. Again, semantics, an uncle, like grandma, grandpa, a family friend, whatever. The list is just way too long for me to be able to like list it all in one video. But this is one of the many reasons, and in my opinion, the main reason why you should never ever bother trying to find out why someone doesn't like you. Now, you all know I love working in story times into my videos, so here we go. Years ago, I went on this beautiful date. It was a second date, and everything was perfect, you guys. A1, okay? I mean, he picked me up, now not at my house, because, you know, you don't want these people knowing where you live. Back in the days, I used to live even in another apartment, so close to, you know, I gave him an address close to my house, and he had picked this beautiful restaurant. It was a Michelin star restaurant. Now, the only thing that is that it was kind of far away. It was like a 40-minute drive, but whatever, you know. He was talking and chatting and everything, and he opened the door for me, he closed the door for me, he had taken this beautiful bottle of wine, and you know, everything was just beautiful and nice and dandy, and you know, he was talkative and everything. But I just recall feeling very irritated the entire time. Like, I was snappy, I was irritated, I was upset, I was angry. Like, it was crazy, and I'm thinking, why am I doing this? Everything is going so well. And you know, if you know anything about the dating pool, baby, you know the dating pool has pee in it, okay? So, you know, every time I go on really bad days, I remember that time, and I'm like, oh my god. Anyways, I was just upset, but he was very, very cool about it, very calm. I remember saying, I just didn't sleep very well last night. And, you know, when I was like being abrasive and dismissive, he was like, oh, it's okay. You know, when you go home, you can go to bed and have a good night of sleep. He was very, very understanding of, you know, my moods and everything. Very nice. And, you know, he brought me back home. And I remember being like, I'm never seeing this man ever again. Okay. Now, bear in mind, this man has done nothing to me. Like, he wrote me on WhatsApp afterwards. He really tried getting back in contact with me. You know, he even took it upon himself, said, don't worry about it, I know you'll be tired last time, but let's try again and everything. I just left them messages on read. Okay, baby, now I do regret that. But anyways, I'm a highly self-aware person. I tell you guys this all the time, you know, self-awareness and empathy are my superpowers. You know, I really talk myself, I pride myself of being, you know, extremely self-aware. It's something that I work on consciously, you know, a lot, journaling, etc, etc, right? And so perhaps, I don't know, a couple of weeks after the date, I don't want to lie, but maybe 3 weeks after it all stuff, I started thinking about it again. I'm thinking, you know, by then I had been on a couple of bad dates, okay? You know, we reminisce about good time when bad time is going on. So I'm thinking, what happened? Like, this man did absolutely nothing to me. He was beautiful, he was nice, like, what happened? And then it dawned on me, he was wearing a Man from Cherry Mugler. Now, it's a nice perfume. If you know about it, it smells beautiful and everything, but this is the perfume that my dad used to wear when I was a child. Now, you know, if you follow my channel a little bit, you know that my dad and I have a tumultuous relationship. We don't have the best relationship. I don't really like him. You know, as a child, he used to scare me a lot as well. You know, he was kind of aggressive and everything. So the fact that this man wore this perfume threw me off, right? Because of this, I disliked him, even though he done nothing, you guys, really absolutely nothing to me. If anything, he was very, very nice and patient with my very, very moody behind that day. But I'm telling you this story to really ask you to be mindful on your day-to-day life. When, you know, you find yourself being extremely dismissive of somebody and they are a stranger, ask yourself, you know, is this person really doing something annoying to me right now? Or, you know, am I being subconsciously triggered by something, and that's the reason why I dislike them? I think that this can be helpful. Back in the day, you know, had I done that introspection work, you know, quicker, perhaps, you know, I could have salvaged things. But, you know, it is what it is. I believe that everything happens the way it was meant to be, so it's all right now. So everything is good. Anyways, you guys, this one was a short one, but that's all I had to say about this subject. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. In the comment section down below, let me know, you know, how do you deal with rejection? How do you deal with people not liking you? What do you feel is the top reason why, you know, people tend to dislike you? How do you cope with rejection? Do not forget to subscribe to my channel as well, and I will talk to you guys soon and very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.